Welcome to episode 6 of the Okanagan Real Estate Podcast, your source to buying, selling, and living in the Okanagan. Hosting with me is Marika the Closer Soleil. She's coming to you live from Kelowna and also services the West Kelowna and Lake Country area. And I'm your host, Raina Kucheran, your local Penticton and South Okanagan realtor. Well, Marika, Happy New Year. We made it to
Happy New
2021.
Year. I know, I'm
How
so
are you
excited.
doing?
Good. This is our first episode of the new year, and I'm super excited to get back into it. And I'm glad the holidays are over. I'm super excited for 2021. We actually named it 2020 Fun.
I love it. Well, let's hope it is.
You know what? Yeah, let's hope it is. But I mean, I guess we just got to stay positive and keep doing what we're doing, and make it a great year.
I know. I don't think there's ever been so much anticipation for a new year that I've seen in 2021. I think everyone's just so happy to say goodbye to 2020 and move on to bigger and better things. I know
I
I've
totally
just
agree.
started taking down my Christmas decorations today. I was like, nope, I'm going to clean the house, get them all out.
That's my goal for next week. But you know what? I really like having the Christmas tree lights up. It just makes it feel so cozy. I took most of the stuff down, but the lights just do something for me at nighttime. If I'm like watching a movie or eating dinner, it just looks so nice in the house. So
I
might
know,
keep
it's
on
so
for one more
cozy.
week. Yeah. So how was your Christmas?
It was really good. Like, it was quiet.
Yeah.
I left it way too late to buy a turkey. So, of course, I got like a 19-pound bird for a very small amount of people.
Oh, that's hilarious.
And then I realized Christmas morning that I was out of tinfoil. So I had to like make this contraption out of parchment paper and tape it around the bird. It was the best bird I've ever made. Like, it was fantastic.
You know, actually, that's funny because I think not last year, but the year before, I ran out of tinfoil. And
Me
thank
too.
God I had a neighbor that was a good friend. So I was like, hey, do you guys have any tinfoil? And of course, she had like the big 3 packs of the Costco tinfoil. So she ran over with her dog and gave us tinfoil so we could bake our turkey. But I baked my turkey like the high heat way. Did you do it like that? Or did you do it the
No,
slow,
how does
long?
that turn out?
Oh, it's always really good. And it's always very crispy skin. And it
Oh,
only
nice.
so what happens? You put it in, I think, for 7 minutes a pound on 500, and
Okay.
then turn the oven off after that amount of time and just keep it in the oven for 2 hours.
Oh, wow. Okay. I'm
Yeah,
going to try this next year.
yeah, try it. It's like the high heat method. And I think you could do it with obviously chickens and stuff too if you're doing that. But
Well, yeah, the crispy skin, and that's the best part.
oh, 100%. But then when you look at like a raw chicken and you see that crispy, that skin that's not crispy, you're kind of like, oh, no
Just peel it off.
thanks. Yeah,
So
so
how was your week otherwise? Was it busy, like with showings or anything, or nice and
oh, like,
slow
you know
for the
what?
holiday?
The days coming up to Christmas were busy, yes, like every day. And then we had bookings after the 27th. So it was just nonstop people. And it's amazing because I mean, I don't mind working, like we're not doing much more,
Yeah,
so why not do a little bit of work. But it was a crazy December, that's for sure.
it's absolutely
Yours
crazy.
too.
Like, I had a call from some people that I think they would have gone to see something Christmas Day if I had said yes.
Well,
But
and that's
no,
the thing. People aren't
lined
doing
up for
much.
Boxing Day instead. And then it's just been like people are coming out of the woodworks. And I think we have a lot of people visiting, even though maybe they're not supposed to, or maybe it's a secret from other places. But they're like, yeah, I'm only here for a week, really interested in moving here. Like, what can I go see? So,
Yeah. No, it's funny. I heard on the news today in regards to that they gave out tons of fines in Vancouver over the holidays for people having parties. So
oh, really?
yeah. So I think, people are bending the rules for sure. It sucks not to be with your family, but I know we
Yeah.
had a quiet Christmas and I'm totally fine with that. I was just couldn't wait till 2021. So
Yeah.
excited. Lots of stuff happening this year for us.
Absolutely. Well, and first off, I guess January 1st, which was yesterday, we are now officially known as the Association of Interior Realtors. Is that correct?
Air.
AIR.
Interior features, yes. So our boards, the Okanagan Mainline Real Estate Board, which Kelowna, Vernon, Lake Country, West Kelowna is part of, has decided to merge with South Okanagan, which is where Raina is. And that's all of Penticton, Summerland, all the way
All the
down
way
to
down to Soyuz.
yeah. So now we're all one big happy family. And I'm just really excited about what's going to happen next.
I am
Um,
too. I think it's like a lot of changes, especially for the South Okanagan, which we're going to have increased technology, access to more information. And I don't know how it's been for you, but for me, I always felt like there was this invisible line between Peachland and Summerland where usually if clients are looking in Summerland, they also want to see Peachland. You're like, oh, well, that's across the invisible border.
Exactly. It's a little bit of overlap, right? And, for me, even going into Peachland is kind of like, nah, it's kind of far for me, but
It is.
and for you, it's probably the same distance coming from where I am to, you going to Peachland from Penticton is probably what, 30 minutes?
Yeah.
You do it in 30 minutes?
Yeah, 30 minutes.
Yeah, so it's about the same. So I like it. We can do business elsewhere. We can have better referral partners and just, I think, work smarter and better all together.
Absolutely. I think at the end of the day, our clients really aren't going to see a difference. They're only going to see an increased amount of information and a better ability to serve them. So I don't
Yeah.
think that's a negative to them at all.
And I think that's what it is, because the real estate boards really do work for us. They're very agent driven. They're focused on how we can work better for our clients. So I think all in all, I'm glad the vote went the way it did. And I'm super stoked for whatever happens next. I don't know how much our technology is going to change, what systems we're going to adopt or what's going to happen next, but I'll be watching.
I think you guys have better technology than us.
I think so too. I think it's not so ancient and hard to use.
Well, I'm excited. Well, it'll be lots of learning and I'm sure a learning curve for a little bit, but I think it'll be a great change.
Oh, you're going to do just fine. So tell me what's going on. What happened in real estate in Penticton or South Okanagan for December?
Yeah, we have had a crazy December. So your average single family home in December this year sold for 755,000 with only 48 days on market, which is an increase of 23% over 2019. So
Unreal.
houses are just insane right now. Townhouses are pretty much the same. They also increased 24% over last year with a selling price of 520,000. And then interestingly enough, apartments average sold price was 337,000, which is exactly what it was last year. So I think that what's it's showing us is people are just wanting more space. They're wanting the yard. If 2020 has taught us anything, it's that you're spending more time indoors and you better be able to enjoy that space and have enough of it for you and your family to be comfortable.
It's
What about
true.
Kelowna?
Being able to even have that pool or have that extra yard space or, live close to the park or, anything like that, that's going to give you that better sense of life inside your own home and make it easier, or even have that theater room. You know what I mean?
Well, especially when you can't go on vacation. Like this is your vacation, so you better enjoy it.
Staycation, totally. So it's funny, our numbers for December are similar. I just pulled them this morning, and our single family homes are selling for a median price of 787, which is crazy. 43 days on the market is the average for a single family. And in terms of sold to list price ratios, I like to look at this for my sellers. It's about 98.4%. So, it's not at 100%, but it's very, very darn close to what people are asking. So
ours is at 98% as well. So it just means things are being priced appropriately.
Exactly. And then in terms of townhomes, they're taking a little bit longer to sell. I don't know if it's because maybe there's less townhomes out there, but they're taking about 60 days to sell with an average price of $534,900. So, for a townhome, I think that's still a pretty decent price for a median. Mm-hmm. But in terms of condos, ours are also at $337,000 for December. A little bit longer to sell, 59 days. And sold to list price is 96.9. So that 2% is a big difference regarding an actual sale price, right? So I think condos are, again, taking a little bigger of a hit only because of the large amount of inventory that we have out there.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
You know what I find interesting, and correct me if I'm wrong, but in previous years, the South Okanagan has typically been priced quite a bit lower than Kelowna and the surrounding area. So do you also think it's creeping up there?
Well, yeah. Look at your average price. It is definitely creeping up. I think people might still want that kind of smaller town feel with Penticton. Do you know how many people you guys have now? What your population is?
You know what? They haven't done a census in about 4 years. And I think the last time they did it, they said there was 32,000, but I would dare to say it's much, much higher than that now.
I think so too. And I think there's a lot of people, as we know, looking to Penticton or the outskirts of the city, not necessarily being in a big city. People think Kelowna is such a tourist place that it is a bigger city, even though we only have, under 200,000 people with everything around us. But people are looking for the outskirts. Like I get it all the time, something small or something out in the country or something not in a subdivision, not near people. Like people just want more space, I think.
But it's great that Kelowna is still so close because you got the tech industry there booming, as well as Costco. I know I'm there once a month.
I know, I live pretty close to Costco, so I can pop in and grab one thing, which never ends up being one thing.
So
right?
jealous.
So I guess, you know what, why don't we do a quick recap of what we did last month? So we did the 12 days of giveaways. It turned out we worked so hard on it. Every day we were, gathering gifts and doing this and doing that. And the first few days were good, but then we started slacking and we weren't getting enough people liking the business posts that we were doing. The whole idea about this was to support our local businesses and our friends who so generously donated either gift cards or services or anything like that. So yes. The first few were fine, and we got a good turnout, 80, 90 people commenting, which is great. But the last ones were lagging. I don't know if people were just busy or we weren't, just on top of it.
But I think that they too were more geared towards actual businesses, where a lot of our other gifts were geared towards individuals, and we saw them do really well. But our gifts that we actually had to support some smaller businesses, which could incredibly help them. Maybe they just weren't in our target demographic, and maybe that's why they didn't do as well those days.
Yes.
But we're excited to find the right people for them.
We are, and that's our goal for January. So we're going to be focusing more. We're going to be doing a bit more of an explanation about these businesses, featuring them a little bit more, and really explaining what they have to offer so that people actually get it. Because I know that the prizes we got, I want them all. They're all great prizes. And the one for January that we're going to start working on next week is for BNL and Megan Shallow, who runs social media for businesses. Absolutely amazing. And as well as Aurora Printing, which, people...
They do so much in addition to... They don't just print signs and stuff like that. They can do like pens and stationery and things with your logo on it. This would be incredible. Like, again, I would love this for my business.
I know, I spent a lot of money on
wait to give this to the right person.
Exactly. So that's our goal. We're going to extend it. So we just wanted to give a huge shout out to our business owners. We're going to invite you all to come on the podcast and talk about your business also. Yes. And we're just going to try to blow it out for you because we want this to be successful for you and the people that win. So that's 100%. That. We'll start rolling that out next week. And then in terms of our podcast, we have some cool guests coming on this month. I know we've got a roster of a bunch of people that are not quite confirmed, but I think we're going to have some wicked guests this.
We do.
21.
So next week, we have Jack Jones of eXp Realty coming on. So he is a listing realtor for Oliver Heights, which is a development in Oliver, which is absolutely beautiful. I don't know where else you can buy a plot of land for, they're starting at $119,900. Ready to build your dream home, and your living room is looking out directly over an orchard. Like, wow. It's stunning. It's right near the beautiful town of Oliver. I don't think you can do much better than that. So I'm excited to hear what he has to say. And he also works closely with Step 5 Homes. So I know he's going to dive a bit into the process of building a home and what goes into that, just because I think a lot of people might be a little bit scared off of the whole process of building a home from scratch instead of just purchasing a home outright. So yes. I'm excited to hear him talk about that.
Well, that'll be interesting because you just finished doing that. So you guys will have lots to banter about.
Yes, absolutely.
Awesome.
And then the following week, we have Ryan Avery on, I believe. Is that correct?
Yeah, he's going to come on and do a little financial overview with us, see what's new with the Bank of Canada, interest rates, mortgages. I know he has access to a lot of different products, and just dealing with a few clients here back in December. He really does have a lot to offer and a lot of knowledge. So I'm excited to ask him some more kind of serious questions about finances, not just your basic kind of, hey, what do I need to do to qualify kind of thing?
Yes.
But really talk a little bit more about actual mortgages and variable rates and stuff like that. So that should be really exciting.
Awesome.
And then, yeah, I guess that's good for the next 2 weeks.
Yep. And we'll see where we go from there. I guess we should dive into our topic of the day, which is selling in the winter.
Yeah. So I do a campaign for this every year because It's going to be the same every year. Weather is a huge factor. Being in the Okanagan, we don't get that, as you now know, the 2 months or 3 months of downtime during the winter.
Yeah.
So people do tend to want to continue buying and selling. And it's been like that. We're kind of in that bubble. We have snow, but it doesn't last. And it's not like we're under minus 30 degrees and can't go anywhere. So, our real estate market stays active. And there's a lot of reasons why people would want to sell in the winter. So one of them is that people don't want to move in the winter. Or no, sorry, why people want to buy in the winter. So oftentimes people don't want to move, so they're going to wait until spring. But hey, what a great opportunity to get your house listed and sold to some serious buyers, right?
There's so much less competition in the winter. Just even thinking of it from the standpoint that that a lot of people have brand new listings sent to them. Well, when you're one of 20 new listings of the day, you're not getting that exposure that you're getting in the winter when maybe there was only 3 listings that day. You're showing up in everybody's inbox that is searching for that criteria for a home.
Yeah, interesting. And even with the low inventory we've been experiencing, why the heck not? People are getting 98.5% of what they're listing for. So, get that home evaluation done, see where you stand, check your mortgage, make sure you don't have a $20,000 penalty.
Yeah,
something I
do that.
experienced this last year a lot. And yeah, test it out. There are a few things that are a little bit challenging. And of course, if it does snow, people, especially now that we have so many people moving from the lower mainland, they probably don't want to drive down the Coquihalla and go for showing. So that could be challenging. Another
but
challenge,
the ones that do are really serious about
and
it.
that's the thing. They're serious. They're 100% serious.
You don't have a bunch of looky-loos and 5 people coming in and out of your house during the day. And I think people are really respectful of the guidelines with COVID and everything as well. They're happy that, like earlier today, I was at a showing and it's full mask, full gloves, full booties, and everyone's super respectful of that. So it just goes to show people aren't going to go do that unless they're really serious about a house.
Absolutely. Yeah, I totally agree. The other cool thing about doing it in the winter is you get to decorate your house, right?
Yes.
Keep your Christmas tree up, light some candles, and really, make it feel super cozy, which I love. I just love that feeling so much.
I know, I do too. And I think it gives the home so much more character than maybe it just being super minimalized and everything tucked away. It's like, no, it's okay to leave those Christmas lights up
Totally
and maybe those stockings over the fireplace and just help people feel like it's a home, not just a house.
Yeah, I've always learned that when you're buying a house, it's more of a feeling. You got to kick on those emotions a little bit, and really, you can come into an empty house and love it, love the lines, love the appliances, but you don't really get that feeling of having it staged or having someone else's touch in there, especially someone that really maintains their home or loves to decorate in every season. I had a client that did that every season. So she had her fall decor, and then she had her winter decor, spring decor, and it was just very homey, but not too much. We don't want it to be too much. And actually touching on that, that's something that we offer with our listing service. I don't know if you've used Hillary yet, but she works for Show and Sell, and she does a one-over on our listings and teaches our clients what needs to be there, what doesn't need to be there, furniture placement, all that kind of stuff. So it's just something extra that we like to offer our clients when they're selling a home, if maybe they're not sure, you know what I mean?
That's such an amazing service. Like, and I can't wait to use Hillary in the future. I know with my listing I have currently, it just makes such a huge difference. Like, I have a few extra pieces that I don't mind using, and just throwing a huge area rug in a living room really sets the tone, as well as putting in some pampas grass and a couple of little features here and there. It just really spices it up and allows people to think what the space could be for them.
Well, you love interior design, right?
I do. I am a huge fan.
To use Hillary. You could probably just
do
it
it yourself. No, but you got to specify what you're really good at. Like, I love decorating my own home. I don't know if I'd love decorating everybody's, but
I don't. Well, and another thing, I like it coming from a third party that's not me, because I can tell you to change your pictures and do this and that, but I'm here to sell your house, not to decorate it.
Exactly. Yeah.
I guess that makes sense.
Yeah, there's a certain person for that. And what I know that you do pre-inspections on a lot of your homes when you're listing them as well. Tell me about that.
So if they need it, I mean, usually if it's a newer home, we're not going to really do a pre-inspection. But if it's a home that's older, 70s, even 80s, oftentimes, I like to do it. It's a small price to pay for knowing what exactly the next home inspection, if the buyer chooses to have one, is going to find. So oftentimes my sellers will get a list of little things that need to be done, platelets missing on the electrical plugins, or something in the wrong spot, like maybe your eavesdrops need to get cleaned. Just little things like that that are gonna that another home inspector that comes in is gonna bring up, because we want it to go flawlessly, right?
Yes.
So if we find these little things beforehand, then we can remedy them. Usually they're not big fixes.
And then you don't have people trying to negotiate price afterwards saying it's going to cost them to mitigate this.
Right.
You've already caught it.
And people do that, but the purpose of a home inspection is to find out about the house, learn where things are, know how it runs. We're not there to do a home inspection and try to gouge the seller off the price. You're buying a used product. You know what I mean? Like if I buy something off Marketplace and it has scratches on it, I'm not going to negotiate the price because of those scratches. I know it's used, you know what I mean? So we expect normal wear and tear. And that's the thing. If the home has not been maintained, usually we'll find more issues in the home inspection. But if the home is properly maintained, getting your gutters cleaned, doing a pressure wash outside, cleaning off your deck, stuff like that, oftentimes it's much minimal. So I think that's a good topic we should talk about next.
I was just going to say that as well. I think we'd have lots to talk about on that, especially when it's getting closer into the spring. Just things you want to do to maintain your home and keep up the value, and so that when you're ready to sell, it's going to go flawlessly.
Well, Ed from Sticks Home Inspection said he would come on. So maybe in a couple of weeks we can have him on and he can talk all about that.
Perfect. That would be great.
There you go. We just got our 3rd week filled up.
We're filling up fast.
We're filling up fast. All right. So what do you think? Is there anything else we wanted to discuss today?
I don't think so.
I will
tell you something funny that happened to me.
Okay, tell me something funny.
Not? Okay, so with my listing that came to market 2 days ago, which I'm so excited about.
Yes.
So I was going in there the day before photos, and the bathroom has this giant mirror on the wall. Like it goes from one end of the wall to the other. And lo and behold, the day before the photos, it falls crashing off the wall.
Oh my gosh.
No. The poor contractor, he had to get 17 stitches. It ended up chipping the bathtub, chipping the floor. Like this place was ready. It was like ready to go.
Yeah.
And sure enough, so we were freaking out.
Oh man.
But luckily they got a brand new mirror in there, custom size, like overnight. They got it in there the next morning. And sometimes as a realtor, it just goes to show that you got to get down and dirty, because I was the cleanup crew before the photos.
For sure.
And they look fantastic. Like I couldn't be happier with how everything turned out, but it's like Murphy's Law, right? Like
it always happens.
If something's going to go wrong, it does.
Yeah. And it's funny. Like I had a client move into their house this past year, and literally the day after, the sewer backed up.
No.
Yeah. It was just one of those things that happened. And it's like, it was checked. Like we didn't think it was going to happen, but it just did. And yeah, stuff like that happens. So we got to just prepare. I'm still dealing with a couple things from last year. Oh, it sounds so weird to say that, in regards to having items fixed for people moving in.
Yeah.
And it always takes longer after closing. So
for sure.
We always have to get it right.
Yes, 100%. And that's what we aim to do every time. So
yeah, it's exactly what we do.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for joining us.
If you want more of Marika, you can reach out to her at www.livokanagan.com, or you can reach out to me at southokanaganliving.ca. And if you like this episode, don't forget to leave us a review and subscribe, and tune in next week for another episode of the Okanagan Real Estate Podcast.
Awesome.
Bye,
See you
guys.
later.